Throughout our history, America has relied heavily on Pennsylvania's pioneering spirit and natural resources. Whether it was young immigrants utilizing Pennsylvania's rich reserves of coal at the turn of the century, or Ben Franklin harnessing electricity in a Philadelphia field in 1752, or Colonel Edwin Drake digging the first oil well in America near Titusville in 1859, Pennsylvania has proven itself as a leader in energy advancement. Historically, Pennsylvania has always been an energy leader. Now, thanks to advancements in modern technology, we're on the edge of something big in Pennsylvania. We're sitting on a gold mine.
The resource itself, as it will affect Pennsylvania in the economy of Pennsylvania, is somewhere in the order of 300 trillion cubic feet.
Here, cutting a huge swath through the state, is a giant reserve of gas that was previously unattainable. The Marcellus Shale bed is a challenging and deep reserve of gas.
I mean, it literally has the potential of being one of the biggest natural gas fields in the United States, and maybe one of the top in the world.
This fuel source was 365 million years in the making. Way back in the Devonian period of the Paleozoic era, organic matter, dead algae, got compressed. Over time, lots of time, the black shale of the Marcellus formed. Shale is layered, brittle rock, and it has tiny spaces or pockets. Today, natural gas can be found throughout the rock, within these vast pore spaces, vertical fractures, and in mineral grain. Scientists have known about it for a while, but only now has technology enabled us to affordably retrieve it.
Right now, America leads the world in terms of horizontal drilling technology. If a well is drilled horizontally, you can make lots and lots and lots of fractures.
To further increase productivity, hydraulic fracturing or hydrofracking is used to make more fractures within reach of a well. This process coaxes even more gas to flow to the well.
They're measuring the reserves on each well in BCFs, billions of cubic feet.
That's a whole bunch of gas.
Natural gas alone could do for Pennsylvania what oil did for Texas.
Some of our memories are of giant derricks dotting the horizon, pumping barrels of crude oil to the surface. But natural gas isn't extracted that way. Today, getting natural gas to the surface utilizes cutting-edge technology that is clean, environmentally friendly, and more efficient.
The surface footprint is much smaller. In a square mile, for example, the technology exists now to set up one pad and one pad only. The pad might be 3 to 5 acres. Drill down and tap all corners of that square mile area.
We're done and out of here. You'll basically see a pipe sticking out of the ground and a few tanks off in a side area of a field, and everything's painted green. And literally the farmer can plant his crops right up to the wellhead.
And extracting natural gas creates jobs for Pennsylvania. Good jobs, thousands of them.
With all of our service companies that we hire, there's probably about 100 jobs created per well location. And those are family-sustaining jobs, well-paying jobs.
When industry gets involved in anything, real estate is location, location, location. In industry like this, it's jobs, jobs, and jobs. Let's say the gas is $10 per 1,000 cubic feet. That 4 billion cubic foot well then will bring to the economy $40 million, and that's just one well. And of course, this will be repeated again and again and again. And it's that money that sort of ripples down through the economy of the state of Pennsylvania.
It's the revenue that we're putting into the community, to landowners. They're getting literally money that has been found in their backyard.
Utilizing this abundant resource that is right at our fingertips will not only catapult Pennsylvania to the forefront of energy production and innovation, a position it's used to, it will also spur job creation and economic development throughout the Commonwealth and actually make us an energy exporter.
Right now, of course, everyone is thinking about America as being a net importer, but I think that it really tells the total value of this Marcellus as a resource. It's going to take 5 or 10 years before we produce enough gas to be a net exporter, but that's the potential.
And we're talking between 30,000 and 50,000 related jobs if we stimulate the energy sector in this state.
Natural gas is the cleanest major source of energy used in the United States today, one that can actually improve air quality as it replaces higher emitting fuels. It's no wonder that natural gas has seen increased demand, increased popularity, and once again, Pennsylvania is a major contributor of jobs. Pennsylvania's natural gas industry supplies America with nearly 1% of national demand. And that's about to increase with the harvesting of energy from the Marcellus Shale bed.
The gas from the Marcellus alone would power American needs for the next 14 or 15 years.
Natural gas is ready to go to work for us. We just need to give it the ability to do so.
This Marcellus Shale play is bigger than any field that they've discovered so far yet in the United States, and even in the Barnett play in Texas. There's so much acreage here that has a viable Marcellus drilling to it that it's just expansive, and it's just started literally. You know, we're just at the infancy.
The last thing you want to do is to overtax them right at the beginning of their development. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't some legitimate revenues that the state can derive, but if you get greedy about it, and if you pummel them, and if you punish the private sector rather than encourage it, you're not going to see those jobs. You're not going to see people taking those kinds of risks. So I think that we ought to be very, very careful about what we are taking back from the industry, and we ought to really be thinking about providing more incentives. We ought to be providing tax abatements. We ought to be providing the kinds of incentives that, say, DISC provides for the water industry.
Ample clean energy for the future and jobs in retrieving it for the present. The natural gas industry is growing to meet demand and growing to update service. Well, thank you for joining me for a look at Pennsylvania's energy contribution to America. This beautiful and powerful land has always provided for our every need, and now, when we need it most, Pennsylvania is ready to furnish us with more clean energy, more jobs, and a better quality of life. You know, sometimes the solutions we need are right under our feet.